To anyone who's listening in, welcome to Kent County, Maryland Department of Planning, Housing, and Zoning. My name is Bill Mackey. I'm the director. Mark Harper, our associate planner, is presenting the staff report today, and Beth Grebe, our office manager, serving as the clerk. Thank you. Today is January 11th, 2024, and we are reviewing, if you can give us a synopsis of the item.
Yes, this is an application for a special exception for the construction of accessory structure which will exceed the limitation of 1,200 square feet and height of 17 feet on a property less than 5 acres. Proposed structure is 3,000 square feet, and the mean height will be a little bit over 17 feet.
Okay. Thank you.
You want additional information, or that
I'm
sufficient?
Go through the oath,
okay.
But yeah,
all right.
Thank you. So the way these hearings go is that we allow the applicant an opportunity to present after the staff gives a summary staff report, and anyone who's in the audience or online who wants to comment either in support or opposition does so. At this time, there is no one in the room in the audience, and only the applicant is online. So this will probably be a fairly short procedure. So we'll do a summary staff report. We'll ask you, as the applicant, to give us some information from your point of view. And then before we start, I just need to ask that anyone who is going to be testifying during this hearing to raise your right hand and to answer the following question. Do you affirm that the testimony you are about to give is true to the best of your belief and knowledge?
Yes, sir. William D. Ballatino, Sr., 9855 Breezecroft Lane, Chestertown, Maryland.
Thank you, sir. And Mark?
Yes, Mark Harper.
Right. Thank you. All righty. So before we begin, the clerk will read into the record the public notice of the hearing.
Yes.
Thank you, Beth.
Yes. The following notice was posted in the Kent County News on January 4th, 2024. Notice of public hearing. Notice is hereby given that on Thursday, January 11th, 2024, at 10 a.m., the Kent County Director of Planning, Housing, and Zoning will hold a public hearing in the County Commissioner's Room, 400 High Street, Chestertown, Maryland, on the following matters. William and Susan Bolletino requesting an administrative special exception to construct a pole building with a mean height of 17.75 feet and a floor area of 3,000 square feet, which exceeds permitted dimensions. The property is located at 9855 Breezecroft Lane in the 6th District and is zoned critical area residential. Members of the public may attend the meeting in person or observe and/or comment on the meeting via the audio-only phone number and conference identification number listed below. Dial 1-872-239-8359. Enter conference ID number 109-729-671, and then the number sign. Members of the public are asked to mute their phones, devices, until the chair opens the floor for comment. If you have any questions concerning the application, please contact the department at 410-778-7423. If you need communication assistance, please contact the Maryland Relay Service at www.mdrelay.org or 711 for voice. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Beth. All righty. Mr. Bolletino?
Yes, sir. Good morning.
Have you read and reviewed the staff report?
Yes, sir, I have. Thank you.
Okay. So, Mark, would you give sort of the highlights of the staff report for the record?
Yes, I'd be happy to. So in regards to general standards required by the land use ordinance, staff and TAC have the following comments. The proposed structure will be a bit larger than the existing structure, principal structure itself. The aerial image shows the relative position of both. The proposed structure is going to be in the rear yard, closer to the road. During the previous application for the installation of the pad upon which the structure is to be set, there was an additional expansion of the driveway. Had discussions with applicant in regards to the mitigation required according to critical area law for that, and he has submitted a buffer enhancement plan, which meets those requirements. Looking at the aerial, notice that there's no screening vegetation between the applicant property and the adjacent property. It does have a residence on it. So we are recommending that some additional screening be provided for that portion of the lawn. In regards to other comments, the Health Department has specified that no plumbing or HVAC is permitted, and the applicant has proposed that none would be. So we do recommend approval with those following conditions: that installation of vegetative screening along the eastern property line, along road frontage to soften the appearance of the proposed structure, that no plumbing or HVAC is permitted, and that the special exception hereby granted would lapse after 1 year if no substantial construction in accordance with the plans were to occur.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Mr. Baltino, do you have anything you'd like to say, maybe in particular response to the condition about requiring landscaping?
No, sir. The only thing, I know the neighbor is going to be putting up a pole building as well. They're actually going to be using the same company that I'm using. So in regards to the eastern vegetative screening, his barn's going to see my barn's going to see his barn, and as well, there's not much room there on the other side of the driveway. I would estimate, I don't know, maybe 10 feet. And again, I didn't know if that would be, beneficial, and, if he were going to be required to do the same, we kind of both be doing the same thing as well. He has put up trees along his property line on the other side along his property line, which really, when they're grown up, is going to block the view of said building from the east side. In regards to the front, there's no objection to putting some trees along there for vegetation, sir.
So you don't object to the condition?
No, sir, I do not.
Okay. And thank you for the explanation. That's good. Do you concur with all
Yes,
that,
sir.
Mark?
Yeah, I was just making a recommendation based on aerial imagery, so it's nice to have on-ground report as to the conditions.
Okay, well, thank you. Well, seeing that there is no one in the audience and only our applicant is online, do you have any final statements that you'd like to make, Mr. Baltino?
No, sir, I just appreciate the cooperation by the staff there and the board for taking the time to listen to me present and request the proposed structure, and I thank you for your time.
Well, and we thank you. The purpose of these hearings is to notify neighbors that something that's, not expected outside of the zoning code is going to be occurring, and give them the opportunity to make a comment or appear and make a comment. And so there's, as you know, posted notice and letters. So appreciate you being willing to participate in the process. It does allow the neighborhood to know what's going on, and gives them an opportunity to speak. So with that, I will include in the decision by reference the TAC and staff comments, the staff report, the response by the applicant to accept conditions, and I would I would deem that it's a positive decision, so I decide in favor of the application. I would like to make one modification to the conditions, that it lapse after 2 years and not 1. And Mr. Baltino, as a result of this meeting, a written decision will be provided to you. Usually that's in about 2 weeks from now. And any permits that you have, if you've already applied, can be processed. We can do all the work, but we're unable to issue the permit until 30 days from this meeting. Under Maryland law, there's a right to appeal for all administrative decisions. So we can work on those things, get everything prepared, but the actual permit itself would not be issuable until the 30 days from today is passed.
Understood, and appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate you taking the time. And thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Have a great day. Thank you very much.
You too. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Sir, one more question.
Yes.
That information, permitting and all, will be mailed to me at the 30-day mark, and then I can contact my construction person and, notification for all of the required underground stuff to be marked and all that stuff. Or can that, the underground stuff and all that can occur prior to the 30 days?
So can you explain what you mean by underground activities?
Just notifying, you have to call when you dig and all that kind of stuff, Miss Electric or whatever it is for
you can
and so on and so forth.
But you can certainly have the property marked at any time. You don't need to wait for that. The 30 days is just for
Okay.
actual construction to start. And generally, if
Okay,
you have
very good.
if you have a permit in process, assuming that everyone has signed off and everything's approvable, at the end of the 30 days, we would be able to issue it, and you would be, your contractor would receive that information, and a building permit card is issued, et cetera. So, but everything does have to be in order. So it's a good idea to sort of check in and make sure that all the things that the contractor is required to submit along the way have been submitted and reviewed positively. We're sort of the facilitator for multiple agencies, so there's often comments by agencies that we just forward. We can't resolve the problem, we just notify contractors that a certain agency has an issue. So you're welcome to call in and track that progress if you wish.
And I will do so, and I submitted the permits myself, so. I didn't
Okay,
follow.
well, then
But,
you're well aware of the
I will follow up in the
comments.
next 30 days through the office.
Okay, all right,
Yes, sir,
thank
I
you,
am,
sir.
and I thank you very much. Yes,
All
sir.
right,
Have a
thank
great
you.
day now. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Yes, sir.